All right, we are getting to start lesson 3 of module 3. Lesson 3 of module 3. Okay, get those papers ready. All right, so we are going to be doing some counting forward and back using benchmarks. We're going to count from 90 to 300 using benchmarks. And we're going to start on 90. So 90 is my box number. Okay, and then I want to count the fastest way I can to get to, I want to count the fastest way I can. So I am going to add a 10. So if I add a 10, that would put me from 90 to 100. And then from there, 100 is my benchmark. That's an easy one for me to be able to count from if I have a benchmark. So from 100, if I put another group of 100 or a bunch of 100, then I would be at 200. And then one more bunch, another bunch of 100 would put me at 300. So I am starting at 90 and I'm going to count back or count forward 90, adding 10 to get to 100. Another 100 gets me to 200, another 100 gets me to 300, with 100 being my benchmark. So I counted with tens and I counted with hundreds. I counted with tens and I counted with hundreds. Okay, excellent. Let's try another one. Here we go. This time we are going to start counting at 170. 170 is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to put a box around it so I know where I'm starting. And I want to count all the way up to 500. So I'm starting at 170 and I'm going to count up to 500. So I don't think it would be a good idea to skip count by ones, so I think I'm going to be doing tens. There we go. Remember this from yesterday? 10, 10, 10. So that would be 170. Up 10 more, 180, 190, and look at that. That puts me at my benchmark, which is 200. This is my benchmark. I'm going to use a BM for benchmark, which means if I want to get up to 500, skip counting by tens probably won't get me there very fast. So I'm going to go from 200 to 300 to 400 and finally up to 500. So I then started with tens first and then I moved to hundreds because I wanted to get there fast. So from tens to hundreds. All right, let's try another one. Okay, so we are going to start this time at 350. We're going to start at 350 and I want to get all the way up to 600 this time. I'm going to start at 300 and go all the way to 600. 350. So 350, 360, 370, 380, 390, and I got to a benchmark, which is 400. I don't think I want to keep counting by tens. That's going to take me too long. And besides, I'm at a benchmark. That benchmark means that I am going to do my next counting by hundreds, 500, and then finally landing at 600. All right, so I started at 350. And I counted by tens first to get all the way up to 400, which is my benchmark, and then I ended with 500 and 600, counting by hundreds. Counting by hundreds this time. All right, so we're going to erase that. And we are going to move on to, this time we're going to start at 780. 780, and I want you to get all the way up to 1,000. I'm going to see if you can try this one on your own. You're going to start at 780. That's where my beginning is. Remember, if you run into a benchmark, that might be a good time for you to change how you're counting. So I am going to stop, have you stop the video and try to do the counting up to 1,000. Ready? Stop the video. Are you back? Well, let's see what you got. Did you go up 10 more to 790? And then how about another 10 up to 800? When you got to 800, did you notice that you were at a benchmark? Then from there, I don't think I want to keep counting by tens because that's what I've been doing up to this point. I think I'm going to start counting by hundreds. I'm going to keep counting by hundreds, so that would give me 800, 900, and of course putting me up to 1,000. So started at 780, counted by tens, and then counted by hundreds. I call this counting the fast way. Is it faster to count by tens or is it faster to count by 100s? Well, it's definitely faster to count by 100s, so if you can, I would. All right, so this time we are going to start at 300. We're going to start at 300, and I need you to get all the way up to 480. So you're looking to get up to 480 starting at 300. Well, I don't know about you, but I think I would start off by going from 300 to 400. Can I start by counting by 100? If it makes it easier, I certainly can. But then I have to get up to 480. Can I continue to count by 100s? Ooh, I don't think so, because if I counted to the next 100, it would put me at 500, and I only want 480. So I think I'm going to now have to start counting by tens. So 410, 420, 430, 440, 450, 460, 470, and at last I made it to 480. So this time I started counting at hundreds. I got one number before I had to change and count by tens. But I got myself there pretty fast. All right, let's try another one. This time we're going to start at 500. We're going to start at 500, and we are going to count up to 830. So we're starting at 500, and we want to end at 830. So, here's my beginning number. I think it would probably be smart if I started by hundreds. So 500, 600. Could I go another 100? I would. To 700. I think I could even go another 100 to go to 800. But after I count by hundreds, and I got pretty far counting by hundreds, I think I'm going to have to switch here because this is my benchmark. If I keep on going, I'm not going to be able to continue. If I did it another 100, I would be at 900, and I can only go to 830. So I think I need to switch and start counting by tens, which would be 810, 820, and finally 830. Alrighty, so I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. I counted by hundreds first and finished up counting by tens. This time you're going to try this next one by yourself. So you are going to start at 600. That's your beginning point. And I need you to count up to 710. Ready? And begin. Are you back? Well, this one didn't take very much time. I started to go from 600 to 700. So I started with hundreds. That was a fast way to get where I wanted to go. But if I keep on counting by hundreds, I'm going to not be where I want. I'm going to have to skip and go to tens. So 710, which is where I was heading. Not very far on that one. Let's try another one. This time you're going to start at 800. Starting at 800, get ready to shut that video off. I want you to go clear up to 990. You're going to go clear up to 990 starting at 800. Remember, you want to get there as quickly as you can. Shut the video off and then we'll come back in just a minute. Are you back? Okay, here we go. So from 800, I'm going to count by hundreds and get myself up to 900. That seems like a logical thing to do. But if I go another 100, it's going to put me at 1,000. So I can only, I can't do that. So I'm going to start with tens after I get finished with my hundreds, because I only got to do one with hundreds. So let's see, that would be 910, 920, 30. I forgot my 900. 930, 940. How you doing? 950. Keep going. 960, 970. Keep going. 980. Can't I get there yet? Oh, I'm finally there. 990. So I started off by counting with one group of 100, and the rest I had to count by tens. All right, let's try another set. Here we go, lots of sets today. So we are going to start with 100. We're starting with 100, and I want you to count all the way to 361. So you're starting with 100, and you're counting up to 361. You give it a try. Shut the video off. Okay, are you back? Well, I want this to count as quickly as possible, so I'm going to start with hundreds. If I can start with hundreds, I always would. So from 100 to 200, from 200 to 300. Oh my gosh, I can't go anymore. I'm going to have to switch to tens. So from 300 to 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, whoops, up, Miss Star, you got to get that 300 part in there. 350, 360. Oh my gosh, I'm not quite there. I still have one more to go, so I'm going to have to switch over to ones and go 361. So this time I counted by hundreds, tens, and ones. But I got where I was going. Did you switch and count by ones at the very end? If you did, you just got yourself a smiley face. Let's try another one. This time you're going to start at 200. You're going to start at 200, and your goal is to get to 432. I'll give you a hint. You're going to have to count by hundreds, tens, and then ones. You're on your own. Shut the video off. Are you back? All right, so did you go 1 or 200, then to 300? I would have, because hundreds is the best place to start, at least with this sequence. Hundreds, and 300 to 400. Uh-oh, if I go to another 100, I'm going to be at 500, and I can't, so I need to change to tens. Did you change to tens? 410, 420, 430. Oh my gosh, I'm almost there. I still just need to have two more, but I think I'm going to have to trade two ones. So 431 and 432. I'm changing now to ones. So I started with 100s, moved to tens, and then I did ones. If you got there the same way I did, you are one heck of a math brain, in my opinion. This time you're going to start at 600, and you are going to go all the way up to 725. So from 600 to 725, and you're starting at 600. Stop the video. Okay, are you back? Well, I know I can do 700, which I'm going to, but I think I'm going to have to switch to tens. 710. 720. Uh-oh, I think I'm going to have to switch to ones. 721, oops, comma, 722, 723, and 724, and last but not least, 725. 725. I started with hundreds, moved to tens, and then I had to move to ones. So I started with hundreds, moved to tens, and then moved to ones. All right, let's try one more of these, and then we'll move on to something a little bit different. Start with 700, starting with 700, and I need you to go all the way up to 874. So you're starting with 700 and moving all the way up to 874. Pause the video. Are you back? Well, I hope you said hundreds first, because that would give you a big jump. But if I went one more 100, I'd be at 900, so I think I'm going to have to switch to tens. 810, 820, 830, 840. Man, I'm never going to get there. 850, 860. Oh, I'm close. 870. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to switch to ones, aren't I? So that would be 871, 872, 873, and finally 874. So I had to do one group of 100, several groups of 10, and several groups of 1. Okay, here we go for something a little bit different. We're going to try that again. And off we go. We're going to start this time at 361. You're starting at 361, and you have to go all the way up to 400. So you're starting at 361. Your goal is to get to 400. Big hint, you're going to have to start with ones, my friends. Well, I'll do this one with you, and then we'll do a couple others on your own. So 361, 362, 363, 364. Wow, I am having to do ones. 365, 366, 367, 368. Wow, a lot of ones. 369. That's really bad, mister. 369. Oh, finally a benchmark. 370. Whew. I think I'm going to stop counting by ones because now I could count by tens. 370, 380, 390, and hallelujah, I finally made it up to 400, which was as far as I had to go. This time I was only counting by ones and by tens, and I had to do a lot of ones to get to that benchmark. So that the benchmark was right here. So I could start counting by tens. All right, let's try another one that's kind of tricky like that. Did you notice that every time I go up, they get a little bit harder? Yep, they certainly do. All right, so this time you're going to start at 432. You're going to start at 432 and go clear to 440. Stop the video. Of course, you're starting with 432. Ready and start. Are you back? I hope you started counting by ones first because you need 433, 434, 435, 436, 437, 438, 439. Oh my gosh, did I finally get to a benchmark? 440. Oh, I did, a benchmark. Whew. I'm happy because now I can start counting by 10. Oh, wait a minute, that's where I was going. Wow, I only ended up counting by ones on that one. Alrighty, so there you have that one, all the way up to 440. All right, this time we're going to start again, except that you are going to start at 450. You're going to start at 450, and you need to go all the way up to 600. So 450 all the way up to 600. Shut the video off and give it a try. Are you back? Okay, here we go. So 450, I think I'm going to have to start with tens. Did you start with tens? 460, 470, 480, 490, 500. Finally, a benchmark. So I'm going to switch to hundreds. Oh, I only had to go one more. That got me at 600. So I did tens and hundreds on that one. As soon as I got to my benchmark, I got to count with hundreds. All right, so let's try starting at 725, and you are going to count up to 760. From 725 up to 760. Here's where you're starting. Be careful. What should you start with? Shut the video off. Are you back? Okay, here we go. 726. I'm counting by ones. 727. 728. Oh my gosh, is this going to go on forever? 729. 700. Oh, yay, a benchmark. Whew. Love those benchmarks because then it's easy. 740. Notice I had to change over to tens. 750, 760. Oh, I got where I needed to go. Fantastic. All right, we're not done yet. There's a lot of these today. So we're going to start at 770 and go up to 900. Start at 770, go to 900. Stop the video. Alrighty then. So did you start by counting by tens? I hope you did. 770, 780, 790. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This puts me at 800, which is a benchmark. I'm going to switch from tens to hundreds. 700 and one more 100 would give me 900. So 770, 780, 790, benchmark 800, last number 900. Congratulations if you did that correctly. Let's try one more. We're going to start at 874. This is your starting point, and oh my gosh, you've got to go all the way up to 1,000. All the way up to 1,000. Okay. Shut the video off and see if you can do it. Are you back? I hope you started counting by ones. 875, 876, 877, 878, 879, and yay, a benchmark, 880. Whew, I could start counting by tens. Let's do it. Count by tens. So 880. 890, then where do I go to? 900, another benchmark, so oh my gosh, and I only have to go to 1,000, so I counted by ones, tens, and at the very end I got to count by hundreds. Congratulations if you did that correct. I'm very proud.